Now to a significant chunk of cash. The North Las Vegas Police Department offering officers from other agencies 5-figure bonuses to jump ship and join their team. It's a strong approach as law enforcement across the country struggle with recruitment. And in tonight's Operation Crime and Justice Report, News 3's Denise Roche is live with how it will work.
Yeah, LaToya, one of the biggest problems in law enforcement right now is recruitment and retention, and certainly North Las Vegas PD is no exception. But while they are actively training new officers, they are also going after experience as well.
Remember, you're going to go up, or you're going to grab control of your subject. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Understood?
Yes, sir.
Steicy Castillo says this is where she was meant to be.
So it's always been a childhood dream of mine to be in law enforcement.
Learning the ropes in the police academy, one of 20 recruits North Las Vegas PD hopes to have out on the streets by July.
Always be professional and courteous to everybody that you meet, but always have a plan for the unexpected.
It's been tough. I knew what I was getting myself into, but I've enjoyed it. The TAC staff has been amazing. They're tough, but everything they do, they always say it's for a reason, and I believe them and trust the process.
The kind of enthusiasm the agency needs. Even after this class graduates, the department has another 42 openings.
We're actively recruiting.
And Lieutenant John Cargyle says officers from other agencies are urged to apply.
Lateral transfers is pretty good because lateral transfers right now with 2 years of experience with another agency, we offer up to a $40,000 bonus for them.
Cargyle says the idea is to pay for experience. Officers moving from another agency won't be required to go through a full academy, and field training will be shortened.
It saves us quite a bit in the long run because, as anything else, when you bring on a brand new entry-level officer, there's a very high cost of training them during their first year.
And North Las Vegas isn't the only agency in Southern Nevada competing for officers.
Some of our biggest challenges that we have right now is we start off the year with 300 budgeted unfilled positions. I want you to think about what that means, folks. That's basically the equivalent of 2 of our area commands.
During last month's State of the Department address, Sheriff Kevin McMahill said Metro is short-staffed too. Then there is Nevada State Police, working with a vacancy rate of nearly 50%. Nevada Police Union President Dan Gordon.
We, on a regular basis, have 4, maybe 5 troopers working the entire Las Vegas Valley at any one time.
Gordon says while it's too soon to know how the offer by North Las Vegas Police might affect his staffing, he knows more than a handful of troopers are considering it.
With 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people applying, I mean, that puts a big dent in a relatively low workforce as it is. You know, we can't afford to lose anybody at this point, but when these other departments are paying so much more, it's very difficult for us to hire, or even worse, to retain the people that we do have.
Back at the North Las Vegas Academy,
It's not just a badge, you're going to be a part of our family.
Recruits prepare both physically and mentally for the job ahead. And Castillo says she can't wait to serve the city she loves.
I'm bilingual, so I know that's going to come handy, especially in North Las Vegas. I know we have a huge Hispanic community in North Las Vegas, so I am ready to get out there and help out.
And North Las Vegas will begin its next academy in August. Applications are now being accepted through mid-April. But as for those lateral transfers, I'm told that the department is literally hearing from officers across the country who might be interested. Again, though, right now it's still too soon to know how many will actually make that move.
And look now at the Lou Ruvo Center for Brain Health, where some game-changing research is underway in the fight against Alzheimer's disease. But the challenges are not getting any easier. That's because, according to new findings from the Alzheimer's Association, the number of people living with Alzheimer's in America is expected to double by 2050. News 3's Steve Wolford is live at the Lou Ruvo Center for Brain Health with a closer look at some dire predictions. Steve?
Yeah, that's right, LaToya. Not only is the number of people with Alzheimer's in the U.S. expected to double from 6 million to about 13 million by 2050, the cost to the nation is expected to triple from $345 billion now to about $1 trillion. And all of this is happening as Nevadans struggle to get the appropriate care.
Nevada's a neurology desert where there's around one neurologist for every 1,000 people in the state, putting us pretty close to the bottom when it comes to availability of specialty care.
A medical reality for Nevadans from Dr. Justin Miller with the Cleveland Clinic Lou Ruvo Center for Brain Health. But a vacuum you can fill by communicating with your primary care physician and talk about the difference between typical memory loss that goes with aging versus symptoms that come on more quickly.
And I think the easiest thing for patients is to start asking questions of their physicians and to say, is this normal? Does this seem like I have a problem? Should we explore further testing?
And does your family history play a factor? Well, the answer might surprise you.
I think there's a lot of people who have no prior family history who ultimately go on to develop problems with memory. But there's also people who have strong family history that don't necessarily go on to develop dementia. Your genetic history, your family history, changes your risk for developing disease, but it doesn't determine your outcome.
And for those with Alzheimer's, Dr. Miller says it's imperative to remember caregivers, especially since they're often family members who bear the heaviest burdens.
I've heard a lot of people refer to Alzheimer's disease and related dementias as the caregiver's disease, because it really, a tremendous burden falls to the caregiver. Caregivers have to take care of themselves. If they don't take care of themselves, they're not going to be able to provide the best possible care that they can for their loved one.
And the Lou Ruvo Center offers a wide variety of resources for caregivers. Dr. Miller also said something that was very interesting. The greatest risk factor, he says, is age. More than 10% of Americans over the age of 65 has Alzheimer's, and 2/3 of the people with Alzheimer's are women.
Controversial cats. The city of North Las Vegas wants to remove a feral colony from one of its maintenance yards. But now one city employee says he needs help to keep them there. Kristen Drummond has the very latest on this issue.
The feral cat colony lives within the fence of the park's maintenance facility here behind me in North Las Vegas. A city employee tells me they've been there for nearly 30 years and now the city wants them gone.
They keep the yard with mice and rats away. There's never ever been a problem of them doing anything.
John Owen cares and feeds the cats. The 16-year city employee wants them to stay in the yard, but he's at odds with the city, who need to relocate them to start a large construction project on the property. An assistant city manager tells me there's also a safety concern for employees who may be allergic. The city is working with the Community Cat Coalition of Clark County, or C5, to trap, neuter, and return the cats to City View Park, just next to the yard. But Owen does not consider it a good option. He questions the colony's safety. Owen wants the cats to remain inside the facility and just moved a few hundred feet away from their current spot.
So at least they would be comfortable here. This yard is pretty much protected because it's gated. Where you get into the park, it's not protected. Me as a city employee, when I go in before about 4:20 in the morning, I have some sense of protection there.
As it turns out, the city of North Las Vegas has a feral cat ordinance. Under the rules, a feral cat colony must have a sponsor. The current colony on the city property does not have one. The city of North Las Vegas and C5 plan to meet on Thursday to discuss a timeline to finalize their plans to remove the cats from the yard.
Click below and subscribe to News 3 and you'll get more stories about our community.